What's up, I'm Brightglow from the Rivals Dojo, and today we're going to talk about DI. A lot of what's in this guide comes from the in-game tutorials, which I highly recommend playing through, by the way. But if you struggle to understand some of them, or you're just looking for a quick refresher, then you've come to the right place. DI stands for Directional Influence. It refers to a series of mechanics that allow you to slightly alter the direction you go after being hit. This is a crucial skill to learn in order to escape combos and stay alive when knocked off stage. Rivals of Aether has 3 different forms of DI. DI, sometimes called regular or normal DI for the sake of clarity, drift DI, and automatic smash DI, often shortened to ASDI. Normal DI works by letting you directly alter the angle you go after being hit. You can influence the angle to a maximum of 18 degrees by holding the control stick perpendicular to the default trajectory of an attack. The input for normal DI is locked in on the last frame of hit pause, which is the slight slowdown or pause that occurs when a character is hit. Because of this tight input window, you will have to start DIing almost immediately after taking a hit, otherwise you won't get the angle you need. Even though your window for normal DI ends quickly, you're still able to influence your momentum afterwards with drift DI. Drift DI begins after your normal DI is locked in and allows you to move a little bit by holding the control stick left or right. Drift DI's effects are fairly weak and limited to going left or right, but they can add to the effects of normal DI or potentially salvage situations where your normal DI was suboptimal. Despite its name implying otherwise, ASDI isn't connected to regular DI or drift DI at all. It's a separate mechanic with its own set of rules and applications. ASDI allows you to slightly shift your position in any direction during hit pause, which is most noticeable when you're getting hit with multi-hit moves. All you have to do in order to use ASDI is hold the control stick in whatever direction you want to go, and you'll start moving. There are 2 primary uses for DI, and they're commonly referred to as Combo DI and Survival DI. To be clear, these aren't additional mechanics, but terms that describe how you should make use of DI mechanics in certain situations. Combo DI encompasses the art of escaping combos. You'll have to DI differently for each individual combo, but your goal should be to get out of range of your opponent's attacks until you exit hit stun. Most of the time, it's best to angle your normal DI downwards and drift DI away. This lets you land quicker and make some distance between you and your opponent. ASDI is a niche in that it only works on multi-hit moves, but it should not be neglected because of that. Not only does ASDI help prevent large amounts of unnecessary damage, but using ASDI to escape laggier moves can lead into a punish. For example, look at Zetterburn's up special. If another Zetterburn ASDIs out of the up special, they can potentially punish with a neutral special. Another general thing to note is that it becomes easier to DI out of combos the more damage you've taken. This obviously comes at the downside of being easier to kill, which brings us to our second application of DI. Survival DI is making use of DI to survive attacks that you normally wouldn't. Because most kill moves will send you at a primarily horizontal angle, you'll generally want to DI up and drift DI in. Doing this converts some of your horizontal momentum into vertical momentum, while also slowing you down faster. Sometimes, it's possible to DI downwards instead so you can tech off a surface, but this is mostly limited to larger stages or when you're hit by a move with a particularly low angle. DIing moves with more vertical angles is mostly the same as horizontal moves, except you'll want to DI either left or right instead of upwards. If you're spiked while off stage, you want to DI towards the stage so you can wall tech. Be aware that this won't work if you're too far off stage or hit with certain angles. Keep in mind that even perfect survival DI won't keep you alive forever, so as your damage starts to build up, there will be times where you're guaranteed to lose a stock after taking a hit. Another important concept to mention are DI mix-ups. There are some combos and setups that can take advantage of predictable DI, so you'll need to occasionally DI in a different direction than normal. For example, if a raster down specials you while in slipstream and you DI out, he or she can easily take advantage of your DI by following up with a sweet spot F strong. In this scenario, it's better to DI inward. The key to having good overall DI is being able to swap between combo and survival DI at a moment's notice, while being able to perform DI mix-ups where needed. These skills take time to develop, and the only way to do so is to practice and gain experience with the game. You do not have to memorize the exact angles for every move on every character, but it's important to at least have an idea of how to respond in certain situations. Before we end the video, here's a couple of suggestions to help you practice your DI. Practice mode allows you to toggle visualizations for character hitboxes and DI lines, so you can figure out what attacks go at what angles so you can DI them easier. You can even turn on frame advance to let you practice DIing certain attacks frame by frame, which is a useful tool for learning more precise angles. Unless you have someone to play with locally, you're stuck with CPUs as sparring partners in this mode. Because they're not the smartest bunch, it's not going to be easy to test more complex scenarios with them, which limits how much you can gain from practice mode. Probably the best way to improve your DI is to simply play regular matches. During your matches, always be thinking about your DI and try to react to when you get hit. Save your replays after every match, and while watching them later on, use the DI lines option to show how you DI certain attacks and combos. Pay close attention to your habits and figure out what you did wrong or right. After analyzing your replays, do your best to apply what you learned in any future matches and repeat the cycle. By no means will improving your DI be a quick and easy process, but if you keep practicing and keep learning from your mistakes, you will make progress and you will become a better player. Trust. Alright, that'll do it for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.